Well, there he is, Phil Harding. We are here with Colorado's best attorney, Phil Harding from Harding and Associates in studio this morning. Thanks for coming in this morning. Great to see you as always, Phil. Yeah, so we're talking about something that's really big here in Colorado. I know this because I'm a bicyclist myself.
Sure.
So we have a lot of bicycles on the road everywhere, and there's, obviously there's going to be problems with cars.
Right.
So tell me about the issue.
Well, I want to go over a real life case, and we will then kind of discuss what laws apply. We're going to talk about these fancy attorney words, subrogation, the make-whole law, and stacking insurance. So let's look at the facts, all right? So the facts are, first of all, and maybe we have a graphic for it, a car runs into, here it is. This person that ran into my client, he was driving a friend's car. Doesn't sound like it's important, but it will be important. He hits my bicyclist. My guy has a broken femur. He's off work for 2 months, and he has about $70,000 in medical bills.
Yeah, that's a serious issue. So, I mean, who covers this? Who's responsible for this?
So if you're the bicyclist, first of all, what you need to know and what you need to do is go through health insurance, Medicaid, or Medicare. I mean, it's so important. Don't think that the other side, even if they call you up and they say, hey, we're at fault, we've accepted liability, they write one check and only one check at the very end. So run it through your health insurance, and then your health insurance might have a subrogation claim, but then you also need to look at insurance. And if there's $70,000 in medical bills and you're off work for 2 months, you have to stack insurance. So let's look at this. First of all, the owner of the car, right? The owner of the car's insurance comes first. If you loan your car, you're loaning it to your insurance to the buddy. So the owner of the car, that insurance comes first. The next one is the driver of the car, right? Even though he wasn't in his car, his insurance follows him. So that's the next level that you can stack. Then you look to your own car insurance. And I know in this scenario, the guy was not in a car, but your uninsured, underinsured covers you if you're walking, if you're on a bike, you're on a skateboard. The key is if you are injured by a car. So now you look at your own uninsured, underinsured, and then if you live with someone and they have their own car insurance, they have uninsured, underinsured. If you're a resident relative, you get to stack that. I mean, there's so many different layers that you can stack up this insurance, and you're going to need it. I mean, if you have $70,000 in medical bills.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, so do you have to pay back any of this insurance money?
So health insurance has a right to subrogate, which means to get their money back. But there's a law. It's called Colorado's make-whole law. And what it says is, remember we were looking at all those different types of insurance? If you get the full policy limits, it is presumed you are not made whole, so you don't have to pay back health insurance. Now, there are some exceptions, if it's set up under a federal law. Also, Medicaid and Medicare doesn't apply this make-whole law, but watch out for that. You really have to make sure that you know what's going on stacking of insurance, on sending notice under that make-whole law. You have to send it to your health insurance and say, I don't have to pay you back because I was not made whole. Now, if you collect less than the policy limits, let's say the guy ran into you has $1 million of coverage, right? And you settle for $500,000. The statute now says it's presumed you are made whole because you didn't get the full policy limits, but you still get to reduce it by the same percentage as attorney's fees and costs. So, one last thing, if we have time, we have a graphic. So those EOBs that you see all the time. For example, right here, this is the billed amount, this is the reduced amount, and here's the amount that's covered by the plan. When you send your bill to the other side, you only show them that $29,000. Now, you might have to pay back that $8,500, but you're collecting at least $29,000 from the other side, and then the subrogation may be $8,500. But remember, if you hired an attorney, and let's say he's on a third contingency fee, the insurance company has to at least reduce that by a third. And if you get the full policy limits, you don't have to pay any of that back. And so you got $29,000, and that's just for one medical bill alone. You still get pain and suffering, all of that.
This is exactly why you got to have an attorney.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's so many different layers to what we're talking about here, and this is just one example. All right, so to reach Phil Harding and Harding Associates, call them at 303-762-9500. You can get a free consultation anytime, and you can find Phil online at hlaw.com. Thanks again, Phil, for sponsoring the segment.
Sure, thank you.